Think back to when you were a kid. You're probably asking questions all the time, right? Why is the sky blue? How do plants grow? Well, we're all kind of born that way, just naturally curious. And that drive, that need to understand how things work, that's really the heart of science. So today, let's dive into that incredible world together. I mean, have you ever just looked up at the night sky and gotten completely lost, wondering what in the world keeps those stars burning so bright? Or maybe you've looked really close at a flower and thought, how does it know when it's time to bloom? It's those little moments, right? That feeling of pure wonder. That's where discovery really begins. And that is what science is all about. Seriously, it's not some dusty old textbook sitting on a shelf. Think of it more like a passport to an adventure that literally never ends. We get to be the explorers, you and me, mapping out the unknown and figuring out all the cool, intricate ways our world works. And this adventure, it takes us to some absolutely mind-blowing places. I mean, science lets us wrap our heads around the huge, powerful forces that created our planet. We can go from studying the tiny secrets hidden in just one grain of sand, all the way to understanding the ancient story of how these giant mountains came to be. And our journey doesn't stop there. We also head into some of the most extreme places on Earth. We go into the driest deserts, all because we're asking this one big question. How on earth can life not just survive out here, but actually thrive? It's amazing when you think about it. And then we dive down, way down, into the deep, dark mysteries of the ocean. So you see the pattern here, right? The point is pretty simple. Science is absolutely everywhere. From the crazy pressure at the bottom of the sea to the total silence of outer space. There's just a whole universe of things waiting to be discovered. Okay, so we've established that science is this huge, awesome adventure. But what is it really, like, at its core? Let's peel back the layers a bit and look at the mindset that makes this whole thing possible. And here it is. This is the big idea. Science isn't just a big pile of facts you have to memorize. No way. It's an active process. It's a way of thinking, a way of looking at things, and a way of, well, doing things to understand the world. It's basically our best tool for figuring out all the secrets of the universe. Here's a great way to think about it. Science is like a giant jigsaw puzzle that never, ever ends. Every single discovery is like finding a new piece and snapping it into place. But here's the really cool part. Every piece you connect actually gives you a clue about the next piece you need to look for. It's a puzzle that just keeps getting bigger and more interesting. So that's a great question, right? How do we actually find all these puzzle pieces? Well, it turns out science has this awesome toolkit for just that. It's a step-by-step way to find answers, and we call it the scientific method. And this is basically how that toolkit works. It's super logical. First, you just notice something. You observe it. That makes you wonder, so you ask a question. Then you make a good guess about what the answer might be. After that, and this part is key, you have to test your guess. And finally, you look at your results and analyze what you found. It just goes around and around. It's a really powerful loop. Okay, but here's what I think is the coolest part of this whole thing. This method, it's not just for people in labs wearing white coats. Nope. Yes, you already use this every single day, and you probably don't even realize you're doing it. Just think about this for a second. Let's say you're writing something down, and bam, your pen just stops working. What do? What's the very first thing that pops into your head? I bet your first guess is, oh, it's out of ink, right? Well, that's your guess, your hypothesis. And your test is super simple. You unscrew the pen to check the little ink tube. And just like that, you've used the scientific method. You observed, you guessed, you tested. See? You're a natural-born scientist. And once you start looking for it, you'll see this kind of scientific thinking happening everywhere. A bike mechanic trying to find that tiny little leak in a tire, a cook in the kitchen wondering why the dal spilled over, an electrician trying to figure out why a light bulb won't turn on. They're all using that same exact logical process to solve a problem. So what's the one thing that kicks this whole process off? What's the key that unlocks everything? Well, it all goes back to that first spark of curiosity, the engine behind every single discovery. From fixing a pen to discovering a new planet is just one simple, powerful question. Why? When you get right down to it, science is really all about joyful exploration. It's about that shared feeling of wonder. Looking up at the universe with other people and working together to figure out its incredible story, piece by piece. The world is just packed with amazing things that are waiting to be figured out. It's like a giant treasure chest of mysteries. So my challenge to you is this. Never stop exploring. Always keep asking questions, and whatever you do, don't ever lose that sense of wonder.
And I want to leave you with this one last thought, because it sums it up perfectly. After all, to be a wise person, you must be a wise person. Pretty clever, right? So, what are you going to ask why about today?